What's up, guys? Jordan here from Show Me Vegas. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Strip and another Vegas hotel review. Over my shoulder is the Waldorf Astoria, billed as one of the most luxurious hotels in all of Las Vegas. But is it? That's what I'm here to find out. Let's go get checked in. All checked in here to the Waldorf Astoria here in Las Vegas, and I've got to say my first impression is it's complicated. I've told you guys many times in the past that I pay for everything I do in Las Vegas. Every place I stay, every place I eat, everything I do comes out of my own pocket, so you get an honest opinion. And well, my first impression of this place is I paid too much. The check-in story is kind of a long one. I'm going to try to be short-winded and I'm going to talk fast. I got here at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, the day after Labor Day 2025. I booked a king room with a strip view, and when I arrived, the only rooms in that category that were actually ready for check-in were going to be affected by a water outage tonight. Meaning, from 11:45 p.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow, they would have no water. I could tell she kind of felt bad about that, so she clicked along on her computer for a while and finally said, "I've got you booked instead into a junior suite. It has a strip view and it will have water all night. No worries about that." Thinking that sounded like a pretty cool upgrade, I gave her a tip, and a pretty handsome tip at that. I got my room keys and I headed upstairs happily to see my upgraded room. This is my upgraded room. It doesn't look anything like any of the rooms I saw on the website. As a matter of fact, it looks like a step down from any of the rooms I've seen on the website, and it's pretty beat up at that. I will, of course, give you a full room tour later on, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I've never been here before. I've never stayed at this property, and a lot of you have been asking me to give a review of the Waldorf Astoria. So here I am in my quest to stay at every hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. All right, this is quickly becoming a stupid long monologue. I mean, look, it's dark outside already. Like I said, I've never stayed here, and even as a non-gaming hotel, there's quite a bit for me to check out. Some of it tonight, some of it in the morning, but we better go get started. Let's go see what there is to eat, see, and do here at the Waldorf Astoria. All right, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hotel hallways matter. That sounds like something that should have a hashtag on it. But anyway, these hallways here at Waldorf certainly look the part. So you might have noticed in that clip just now, we had to use 2 sets of elevators to get down to the ground floor. It is a little bit weird, we'll get to that in a minute. This is the main lobby here at the Waldorf Astoria, and you might remember a time when this lobby was actually up on the 23rd floor. Yeah, we'll get to that also in just a moment, but this is the brand new lobby here, and it is pretty stunning. Let's have a look. I mentioned the weird elevator situation. This hotel actually opened in 2009 as the Mandarin Oriental, and it's not completely a hotel. There are luxury condominiums in this building as well. That's part of the reason the elevator situation is so broken up. The lobby is now here on the ground floor, as I mentioned, but the rest of the stuff is upstairs. Let's go take a look. The gym closes at 8:30 tonight. It's 8 o'clock right now. Let's go there first. So like I said, the lobby elevators don't take you everywhere, but they do take you a few places. Let's have a look. You get inside the ground floor elevators and you have 3 choices. You can go lobby floor where we're at, 3rd floor, or 23rd floor. Let's go to the 3rd floor, and then we're gonna have to get in another set of elevators to go up to the 8th floor. I know it's weird. You'll get used to it. I already have. It's only been a day. This is the fitness center here at the Waldorf Astoria. It's actually got a really nice luxurious feel to it. It has a nice selection of equipment. They've got treadmills, they've got Stairmasters, they've got exercise bikes, free weights over there, Nautilus machines over here, and of course, you've got water and your cold towels. Not only that, but if you can see past my reflection there, you have a pretty sweet view to work out to. All right, I've got to admit it's a very luxurious gym, more luxurious even than my home gym. But you know what my home gym has that this one doesn't have? That's a rowing machine, and that's where the sponsor of this video, Averon, comes into play. So yeah, the Waldorf Astoria gym was nice and all, but it doesn't have this. This is my Averon Strong Rower, and if you'll excuse me, I was right in the middle of a game. All of Averon's products, including this rower right here, have tapped into the psychology of gaming to keep you coming back for more and more workouts. It certainly worked for me. I've been using this thing since early summer, and I still keep finding new things to love about it. Let me show you a little bit of what it has to offer. This is Averon's 22-inch HD touchscreen, and this has everything you're going to need to keep you entertained and motivated while you work out. If you saw me talk about it before, you already know it has all your favorite streaming apps like YouTube TV, Netflix, Prime Video. But where Averon has really changed the game is, not ironically, with games. Get into the group lobby and find a competition. Add your friends and compete against their scores, or if you just want to compete against yourself, compete against your own times and your own high scores. Now personally, I love the rower, but if rowing is not your thing, you want a treadmill or an exercise bike, Averon has those too. Gamified treadmills, gamified exercise bikes, both with the touchscreen and all of the same features. Plus, right now Averon has their best prices of the year, and you can get an additional $50 off all of their products if you use my code Vegas50 at checkout. Just follow the link in my description box down below or scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. Thanks once again to Averon for sponsoring this video. Out of the Waldorf gym and onto the pool deck, and I gotta say, this looks pretty striking at night. It supposedly closes at 8 p.m. It's just after 8 now, so we'll check this out in the morning for sure, but look how pretty this is at nighttime. Just surrounded by city center and all of these Vegas views. Made it up here now to the 23rd floor at the Waldorf. This is where the hotel lobby used to be. It was on that side over there, and on this side used to be what was known as Sky Bar, with one of the best views of the Las Vegas Strip you're gonna find anywhere. It's not Sky Bar anymore, but it is still a bar and lounge known as Hard Shake. I'm not ready for a nightcap just yet, so I'll come back to it later in the night. But for now, I will give you a sneak peek of one of the best views you're gonna find on the Las Vegas Strip. This used to be hotel registration here, and now it's known as Peacock Alley. This is a lounge that also does the afternoon tea. I'm sure you've seen it in some other videos. I'm not even gonna lie. I would love to come up here for afternoon tea sometime, but even when it's closed, the views are just as good. Check out this bar, by the way. Not open now on this Tuesday night, but I'll put the hours on the screen for you. So there is very little food and beverage here at the Waldorf, but this is one of your options. This is Zen Kitchen. This is back down on the 3rd floor, just off the guest elevators. There are a few people in there on this Tuesday night, but not a lot. You can also get some small bites upstairs at Hard Shake, and also in the morning you can get coffee and pastries here. But I think I'm gonna head elsewhere in search of some food tonight. All right, it seems I might have exaggerated a little bit when I said this hotel has a lot to see. There's really not that much, but this hotel is really well located on the Las Vegas Strip. Let me take you outside and show you a couple of things you're really going to need to know about if you do plan on staying here. You step right out the main doors of the Waldorf, and right over there, those doors, that's the back entrance to Whataburger and Perry's Pizza. Right over this way, that staircase is going to take you right up to the main entrance at Aria. Before we go into Aria to get to the casino, I want to show you something over this way. I don't think a lot of people realize the Waldorf has this little tunnel that goes right up to Main Valet. You can walk right through there, and right outside is this CVS. Listen, I know there's a lot of free water inside the Waldorf Hotel, but if you need anything else, beer, soda, snacks, CVS being right here is a great amenity. And of course, if Aria is not your thing, you want to go to a different casino, just past the CVS and you're right over to Park MGM. It's really not that difficult to get to any number of casinos from Waldorf. You just have to be willing to go outside. Now, I'm not going to lie, one of the biggest hangups I've always had with even considering staying at the Waldorf was its lack of casino. I showed you how you can get to Park MGM from there. Now I'm going to show you Aria. I've always considered Aria really to be the de facto casino if you're staying at the Waldorf. Let's go inside, maybe grab some dinner. All right, I failed. I didn't time the walk from Waldorf over here to Aria, but I would say it's about 5 minutes door to door. You do have to come up a pretty big flight of stairs, but right over there is the Aria Valet, and right over here is the south entrance at Aria. Not that bad a walk, 5 minutes or so, all outdoors. Just keep that in mind. It always feels good to be back in this place. Like I said, this is Aria Resort and Casino. If you're staying at the Waldorf, this is pretty much your home casino. This is definitely my home casino. Of all the places Ashton and I have stayed in Las Vegas the most, this place tops the list. We've stayed here a ton, and it feels like home to me. If you want to know more about Aria, check out our last video on the channel. It's nearly 2 years old now, and it's probably time for an update, but they're getting ready in 2026 to renovate the standard rooms here at Aria. I'll probably wait until then. For now, let's go upstairs and get something to eat. Ooh, the lighting is weird. This bar lighting, kind of an underglow. Not a very good look for me, but made it inside Proper Eats Food Hall here at Aria. And this is possibly my favorite food hall in Las Vegas. I love this food hall. I think it's a lot better than, say, Block 16 over at Cosmopolitan. Just my 2 cents. Maybe I should make a video ranking the food halls in Las Vegas. In any case, I'm at Tamaki Bar. That's the sushi bar here at Proper Eats. And pro tip, yes, it's expensive, but you don't just have to order from the kiosk. They actually have a different menu if you come here and sit at the bar. They have hand rolls. The hand rolls are only served if you're dining in, sitting at the bar, and they are fantastic. Like I said, they're expensive. I got the 4 hand roll set. It's $36, but I've had it before. Absolutely loved it, and I won't regret it this time either. And yeah, even as good as these hand rolls are, something was missing. Something to wash it down with. Sapporo draft. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Well, that was delicious. Every bit as good as I remember it. And now I'm pretty much ready for bed. Hey, Central Time Zone body clock, engage. It feels like about midnight for me right now after a travel day. But hey, I'm not going to leave you guys hanging without a nightcap, right? I'm staying at the Waldorf, a place, like I said earlier, with one of the best Sky Bars on the Strip. It's not called Sky Bar anymore. It's actually called Hard Shake. That's where we're headed next. Let's see what the cocktail selection is like over there. I'm pretty excited. By the way, if you've ever wondered where it is, Hard Shake is right there, that outlined part of the building. So I did make it in here to Hard Shake, and quite honestly, I've been here before, and I don't really remember what it looked like inside. Of course, it's totally dark. I know that the star of the show is that view over there, and I'll give you a look at that here in just a second. I've had a look at the cocktail menu, and it's not overly large. There's like 8 signature cocktails, and then of course there's wine, there's beer, and of course you can call your own cocktail, but signature cocktails only 8. I decided to go with the Old Neon Nostalgia. That is a cherry cola old fashioned. It's got bullet bourbon, cherry cola syrup, and cherry bitters. That is pretty exciting to me. It is one of the more expensive ones on the menu. They range in price from $24 to $28. There is one that's $55, although it's got Macallan 15 in it, which is what I imagine makes it so expensive. You know, they're Vegas prices for a high-end cocktail lounge. It is a cool place. I'm excited about this cocktail. Let me show you the view, and then we'll see about that cocktail. There you go, you saw it, and that looks absolutely fantastic. Look at the color. I don't know if you can see the red in this this dark light, but that is the darkest red old-fashioned I've ever seen, and it looks fantastic. Nice big cherry. Also on the side, they gave me some chips and some olives. That's a nice little touch. Let's see how this is, though. Oh, that smells fantastic. The cherry flavor. I don't know how else to describe that other than it is a cherry cola old-fashioned. That's terrific. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to put a bow on this day, and then I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning from the Waldorf Astoria here in Las Vegas. I slept great last night. That bed was super comfortable. The sheets were fantastic. There was a great selection of pillows, and this room was cold, and this room was quiet. I didn't hear a peep from the hall or outside last night. You can't ask for more than that. You know, I did mention I was a little bit disappointed in this room yesterday, but there are 2 things about this room that I am certainly not disappointed in. Number 1 is free in-room coffee. That Nespresso machine over there is a nice touch, and I did call downstairs. The pods were complimentary. The other thing is robes. I absolutely love a hotel room with robes, and these are some of the best robes I've ever seen, and the branding is on point. That's pretty cool. I'll always wear a robe if a hotel room supplies one. You know, I can only mention being disappointed in this room so many times before I finally give you a room tour. So, let me get dressed and I'll show you around. This is room 415 here at the Waldorf Astoria, and it is a junior suite with 1 king bed. It checks in, according to the website, it's 650 square feet, which is quite spacious, but it kind of surprises me because it really doesn't feel that much larger than any other hotel room I've been in. It's of course on the 4th floor, and you might think being on the 4th floor it doesn't have much of a view, but actually it's not that bad. Check this out. The view is of Aria Place, and even though it's not very elevated, it's kind of a cool strip view. Would be a lot better with a blue sky though. The single king bed is obviously situated right in the middle of the room, and this is an ADA accessible room. I found that out immediately upon walking in. The bed is super low. The shower is completely different than what I saw online. As a matter of fact, a lot about this room is different than what I saw online, and that was part of my disappointment. The decor in here is not what I saw in the pictures, and quite frankly, it's a little bit dated. Over here by the window, they do have a nice desk. This is a great size desk. It's a good workspace, which is good because I think they really do cater to business travelers here at this hotel. As a matter of fact, last night I think I might have been the only one in the hotel not attending a conference. I think most of these rooms normally have a couch in front of the window, but this one doesn't because it's handicap accessible. The only place to sit down in this room other than at the desk is this single chair over here in the corner, which, like I said, is a little bit disappointing. Here on the same wall as the desk is the entertainment center. I think that's about a 55-inch Samsung TV. It has a nice interface and a good selection of channels. Also on the entertainment center is the Nespresso machine I mentioned earlier. Underneath there is a fridge, but it's not for your use. It is a mini bar. Let's take a look. The minibar menu is in the drawer. I didn't see it right off the top when I checked in, so I called downstairs to ask about the prices, and it was kind of funny. The lady at the front desk said, "I can tell you what the prices are, but really don't touch it. They're really expensive. Just walk over to CVS." That's not going to keep me from taking a look, however. Let's look at this thing together. Beers are $10 or $11. Sodas are $6 to $8. Let's see, Fever Tree Club Soda $6. Yeah, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, $8. Snacks are $8, $10, $12, $13, and $18. The Intimacy Kit is $35. Over at Paris in my last video, that was $69.99. On either side of the bed, you have a nightstand with one drawer and a cubby for storage. On the nightstand top, there is on one side a contactless charger for your phone and two power outlets, one USB, one USB-C. On the other side, no contactless charger, but plenty of power outlets. You do have reading lights on either side, and on this side, a nice little Bluetooth-enabled alarm clock, and like I mentioned, a bottle of water on both sides. This is definitely a nice touch and feels very much upscale. Plenty of storage in this room. In addition to the closet, which I'll get to later, you do have 3 drawers on this side, although I will say that middle drawer is dominated by the safe. You might have noticed it earlier when I was showing the view, but this is a little bit weird. The only full-length mirror in here is inset into the window. While that's kind of cool and the lighting is really good, it does mean that you have to open the drapes and the shears in order to use this, which, I don't know, that's kind of weird. All right, that's a look around the bedroom. Let's go check out my favorite part of this room, though, and that's the bathroom. Pardon the echo, the bathroom is enormous. I think that's where they're hiding a lot of that 650 square feet. I'm not sure if it's larger because it's ADA accessible. The toilet room is off to one side and it's huge. It does not have a door on it, but I think, again, that's because this is an accessible room. You do have a very deep soaking tub over here. I love a bathtub in a hotel room. That's a nice feature. The shower is actually pretty small for an ADA accessible shower, and it's also got a curtain on it instead of a glass door. I'm pretty sure if you get a standard room, it's going to have a glass door on it. The 2-sink vanity is nice enough. Say what you will about the decor. I think it kind of harkens back to the old Mandarin Oriental days. And it's definitely, once again, not the same as the rooms I saw online. The amenities are definitely on point. You have hand wash and body lotion on the countertop. You have high-end shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in the shower. And you also have a nice little amenity kit that has Q-tips, cotton balls, and even scope. One amenity that I absolutely loved were the bath salts over by the bathtub. I thought that was a nice touch. Again, this is a luxury hotel and the amenities are right on point. The closet is just inside the door and it is huge, but I'm not in love with it because it's really dark. Again, this is an accessible room, so you do have a lower bar there. I would guess a normal room just has one high bar. You have a backup pillow and an extra blanket, tons of hangers and plenty of space to hang your things, but once again, it's really dark. Not really sure you're gonna be able to see your stuff very well. So that's your room tour. From an amenity standpoint, this hotel room has everything you're gonna need. The one place it really has disappointed me though is for a high-end property, it's really beat up. This hotel opened in 2009 and this room hasn't been remodeled since. Let me show you some examples of where this room definitely falls short in terms of maintenance. Around the TV there's chrome trim, which would be nice if it was, you know, still stuck to the wall. That doesn't look very good. Down here below, Where your mini bar is, it's just missing that trim altogether. That peeled off a long time ago. They didn't care to replace it. Over here, we do have a mystery stain on the wallpaper, but that seems to be a one-off because I don't see anything else wrong. I would say that once upon a time this was really nice furniture, but it's definitely showing its wear. This wood veneer is not holding up very well. It's nicked up and beat up in a lot of different places. And this safe is from 2009 and has not been maintained. We had this issue over at Aria a few years ago. The hydraulics in this thing, totally broken. Watch your fingers. So there you have it. Nothing terrible. The room is clean, but it's certainly worn out, especially for a luxury hotel. In this luxury market, you expect those little details to be taken care of, and they haven't been here. Hey, I've only got about an hour and a half before I have to check out. I was granted a late checkout, 12 p.m. today. All I had to do was call downstairs and ask. That gives me enough time to take you guys downstairs and show you the pool. It looked really cool at night last night, so I can't wait to see it during the daylight. Let's go take a look at the pool, and then we will come back upstairs and I will give you my overall thoughts and my pros and cons for staying at the Waldorf Astoria in 2025. Got down here to the pool area, and yeah, this is really nice. It's open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, which are great hours. They have a ton of really nice loungers that are first come, first serve. These are some of the best lounge chairs I've seen. These are super comfortable. They of course have cabanas to rent, but I don't know why you'd want to spend your money on a cabana when you can get loungers this nice and umbrellas for free. This is really a first-rate pool. It's a luxury pool experience for a luxury hotel. Definitely a chill vibe, which fits in perfectly here at the Waldorf. Not open yet today. It opens at noon. There is a bar and cafe out here as well. There is food service, and I don't care if it's technically still morning. I could really go for one of these Waldorf whips. Oh well, better luck next time. The upper pool is adults only. There's also a hot tub up there. This lower pool is family friendly, although I don't think many times you're going to see very many families here. Maybe a handful of kids, but definitely not a lot. All right, I don't know how I always do this to myself. Even with a late checkout, I'm just 23 minutes until checkout time. So let's go over my overall thoughts for staying at the Waldorf Astoria in 2025. Overall, I liked the hotel. I didn't love the hotel, I liked the hotel. It definitely has a luxurious feel overall, but does it justify the price? I would say absolutely not. So let's get into that price. I booked this room on Planet and I got a pretty deep discount. So all in for a Tuesday night when the hotel really wasn't that busy, that's a pretty steep price to pay. So that said, let's get into the pros and cons, at least according to me, for staying here in 2025. It's a little bit difficult to do pros and cons at a non-gaming hotel, but I'm going to do my best. All right, pro number one, peace and quiet. This is a very laid-back, quiet property, and if you're looking for a place to get away from the hustle and bustle of Las Vegas for a little bit, especially when you retire to your room for the night, this is definitely a good place for you. It reminds me a lot of Vdara in that way because they're both non-gaming, but they're also both just steps away from Aria's casino. I mentioned my room was super quiet last night, so if you're looking for a place to get rest and relaxation when you're in Las Vegas, this is definitely your place. Pro number two, the service was fantastic. Every single employee I came in contact with here at the property, from the second I got out of the car and was greeted by a doorman, to just a few minutes ago when I was walking down by the pool, everybody is fantastically pleasant, and they seem genuinely interested in whether or not you're having a good stay. That's the mark of good hotel management, and that definitely fits the luxury vibe. Pro number three, the amenities are great. Now I don't mean amenities like bars and restaurants because, as we'll discuss when I go over my cons, there's not a lot of that. But little perks like free bottles of water in the room, free bottles of water all over the hotel, free sunscreen down at the pool area. Excellent amenities in the bathroom. The toiletries were fantastic. The amenities kit in the bathroom was fantastic. Bath salts by the bathtub. The little things are there, and that's something you definitely expect at a luxury hotel. And in that respect, they absolutely deliver. All right, let's go over the cons now. I already touched on one, the price. The price is too much for this hotel. Like I said, I think you can stay at any number of luxury properties with casinos on the strip for less than what you'd pay here. And given that price, the fit and finish of this room just doesn't match up. Now, I did give them credit for doing the little things right when it comes to amenities and offerings, so I also have to knock them for not doing the little things right around this room. room. Maintenance is not up to par here, especially for a luxury property. I showed you the wear and tear around the room. A lot of this stuff would be an easy fix if they just got down to it. But even if everything was in good repair, I don't think this room justifies that price point because it's definitely outdated. It needs new furniture, it needs a new design motif. It doesn't live up to the billing of the most luxurious property in Las Vegas, which is how they view themselves. And con number 2, there's just not very much to do here. Now that is kind of the nature of a non-gaming property, but that's also the reason there aren't very many non-gaming properties in Las Vegas. There's only a handful. You've got this, you've got Vdara, you've got the Trump Hotel. By and large, people coming to Las Vegas want a casino, and while I said it's only steps away, you do have to leave this building, leave this hotel, to do just about anything. For entertainment, for dining, for gambling, you're going to have to leave the hotel. If it's 110 degrees outside, you're going to have to walk outside in the sun to get to it. While they do have a little bit of dining here, you would get bored with it very quickly and need something else. Now this con is partially balanced out by pro number 1, that's the peace and quiet, so you can't necessarily have it both ways. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on that, but for me, I prefer to have everything under one roof. That's why I would prefer to stay at a gaming property. Overall, like I said, I liked the hotel, but for the most part, I felt like I was in downtown Kansas City or downtown Chicago, any city in America, not Las Vegas, when I was in this property. Hey, that's it for this one, guys. I've got to move on. I am now 14 minutes until checkout and I have to pack. Thanks as always for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, it's totally free, and turn on that notification bell so you get notified anytime we release new content here on the channel. As always, I've got to be moving on to the next. I'll see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas.